YouTube, man, what the hell going on? It's your boy Ray Sin. Today we gonna react to what we gonna react to today? Shit, I don't fucking know. Shit, get this shit right. 3, 2, 1. YouTube, man, what the hell going on? It's your boy Ray Sin. Today we gonna react to top 10 technical wrestlers in WWE history. A couple of I can just come off the top of my head. Probably Chris Benoit was a good one. Daniel Bryan was a good one. Chris Jericho was a good one. Um, Probably I said Daniel Bryan. That's probably all I can think of off the top of my head. I said Chris Benoit. Yeah, Eddie Guerrero was a good one. Eddie Guerrero was a good one. But we're gonna hop to the video and see what the hell going on. And like any other video, it's March. Get that money. Strive for greatness and do what the hell you need to do to get to where you need to be. Let's get into the video.
Appreciate it. So with that being said, here are our picks for the greatest 10 technical wrestlers in WWE history. First of all, special mentions to Bob Backlund, Dynamite Kid, and Ricky Steamboat, who didn't make this particular list of mine, but I do appreciate that they'll be a lot higher up in your lists. Number 10, Owen Hart. The self-proclaimed King of Heart was an extraordinary talent. Owen was a fantastic worker who could do pretty much any style you threw in front of him. Owen was also voted as the best flying wrestler in 87 and 88, something which spoke volumes about his talent. He did mat wrestling, catch wrestling, high flying, and was very agile as well. Owen's style was arguably what wrestling became when you look at the work of Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, and because of that, he was overlooked in his time.
He was doing all this in 80, we said 87, 88. That's no wonder. No wonder. Okay. I'm learning something.
Owen was arguably more talented than his brother, but the fact that he never had that popularity and could never get out of his brother's shadow held him back. There aren't many bad Owen Hart matches that you can pick out, and some of his greatest work can be seen in his feud with his older brother, Bret, especially with their amazing WrestleMania 10 match, which is often regarded as one of the greatest wrestling matches in history. Number 9, Chris Jericho. Jericho was one of the best in-ring workers during the 90s and 2000s. His in-ring style mixed the styles of North America, Japan, and Mexico, and he could put on wrestling clinics in the ring. He's commonly noted for his ability to evolve and adapt no matter the setting. Y2J frequently utilizes a combination of international wrestling styles, including a host of excruciating submissions. He can
that is hard. That is hard. Chris Jericho is definitely, some of the moves I see him do was crazy. Like, he was definitely ahead of his time too. And he evolved with time as he still wrestles.
Is agile as a bird, stretch opponents with his submissions like his Walls of Jericho, or find ways to take down his opponents like his suplexes and powerbombs. His technical skills were more evident in his early years, with his work in New Japan, ECW, and WCW, but he's also had some great wrestling matches with the likes of Shawn Michaels in 03 and 08, as well as his feud with Rey Mysterio in 09. Number 8, Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Curt Hennig prided himself on being one of the all-time greats. There's a reason why he's called Mr. Perfect, because everything he did in that ring looked so perfect. He had a successful amateur wrestling career at the University of Minnesota, which helped. His arsenal ranged from his amazing dropkick, the rolling neck snap, knee bar drop, and of course his beautiful perfect plex. His matches were exceptional. You appreciated Hennig's technique as he looked to capitalize on every maneuver. To think that this incredible talent never held the 2 major titles in WWE and
that's crazy. I'm a little too young for Mr. Perfect, but I know who Mr. Perfect is. I just never seen his matches.
WCW is just crazy. If you really want to appreciate his work, take a look at his matches with Dean Malenko and Ric Flair in WCW, as well as his matches with Bret Hart in WWE. Number 7, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is one of the most beloved, gifted, and influential technicians. His technical skills are always superb. Going out there,
he just reversed the rock bottom. I don't even think I ever seen somebody reverse a rock bottom. He did reverse a rock bottom. How many people reverse the rock bottom? I don't
Number
think
7,
I ever seen that.
Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is one of the most beloved, gifted,
and
influential
He did reverse a rock bottom.
His technical skills were always superb. Going out there in the ring and performing with grace and charisma. Eddie was very well-rounded. He was not only a high flyer, but he knew how to technically wrestle and had some amateur pedigree. Mixing American mat wrestling with his lucha libre background, Eddie was extremely talented, could change moves in midstream, and could face opponents of any size while making
DDT, I remember that.
Eddie could take people to the ground with his holds and submissions, but also with added agility by using his drop kicks and tornado DDTs. Eddie knew so many different aspects of the business. He was very efficient in learning all the different wrestling styles and mastered them all. His matches against Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko, in particular, really stand out. Number 6, Dean Malenko. The man of 1,000 holds and the 2-time winner of the Best Technical Wrestler Award. There's not many wrestlers more synonymous with technical wrestling than Dean Malenko.
I'm not familiar
Even
with
though
his
he
work.
wasn't a top star, he put on some amazing performances and matches.
I'm not familiar with his
Malenko
work.
has a lifetime of wrestling knowledge and development. He spent significant time in Japan, Mexico, and
Never
Europe,
seen that
as well
before.
as the US territories and major promotions. His biggest strength was being able to work any style, but especially a mat-based style, a good ground technique, a lot of
That's a
holds,
young Rey
a lot of
Mysterio?
counters. Dean had a hold for everything, a counter for everything, and a counter for the counter of the hold. He was always smooth and tactile in the ring, especially with the way he moved and transitioned. Before he was in WCW, he had this amazing trilogy of matches with the late Eddie Guerrero. In WCW, he had more great matches with Eddie, as well as Chris Jericho and others. Sadly, when he got to WWE, they just didn't know what to do with him. Number 5, William Regal.
Damn, he just seemed like he was a breath of fresh air. That would have seemed like all his counters was crazy. I know who Dean Malenko is, but I never, like I said, watch his matches. So, sorry, people. Shit.
William Regal doesn't get
how I
remembered
forget
much,
the William
but his
Regal.
technical skills are incredible. Mixing British catch with American brawling and Japanese puroresu, Regal was one of the definitive
That's where Daniel Bryan get it
technicians of his
from.
period. He knew how to put you in a hold, tying and twisting you like a screw, suplexing you with his Regal plex, and submitting you to his Regal stretch. William Regal could hurt you in so many different ways. He would apply joint locks and then also put an elbow in the joint to make it hurt even more. He was so good at the grinding part of technical wrestling and using leverage to really hurt people. His skills were overlooked, and it's sad that he didn't get pushed to be world champion.
His skills were definitely not overlooked. I don't know. Rick had, he was a comedian. He take him serious. He know how to wrestle. I just don't. Maybe it was just the time then. Maybe he just in the wrong time. But that's where Daniel Bryan get all his shit from.
If you were to watch his more recent match with Cesaro in NXT in 2013, you'll be able to get a small taste of his technical skills. William Regal will forever be remembered as a legendary technician in between the ropes. He inspired so many to learn the craft and perfect it, mixing the artistry of technical wrestling and the brawling no-nonsense style. Number 4,
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has become acclaimed for his devastating collection of strikes and submissions, alongside his unique character changes throughout the years. There has not been too much to be impressed with in the modern era when it comes to technical wrestling in the WWE, but Bryan really does shine at making technical wrestling fun to watch. He is by far the best modern technical wrestler in the business. The thing that sets Bryan apart from most wrestlers today is that he's a wrestling purist. He stays true to mat wrestling and isn't too flashy. He doesn't rely on brute force or strength, but rather his skill and technique. A record 8-time winner of the Best Technical Wrestler award. This award was even named after him after his retirement. He keeps things very fast paced in the ring and uses a nice mix of MMA moves to complement his submissions.
That was crazy.
Bryan is extremely fluid in and out of holds and is great with reversals. Even William Regal, a master technician in his own right, said, "He's taken bits from every single one of us and updates them, which makes him better than everybody else." Number 3, Chris Benoit. First and foremost, Benoit's actions leading up to his death in 2007 will always overshadow his legacy, but there is no denying that professionally, he was one of the best technical wrestlers ever. His raw intent,
and then he was just always, he was so quick. He was just so quick. Boom, pow, pow. He was just always quick with it.
With his style of
you done
grappling
had
was
time to
phenomenal.
think.
With the Rabid Wolverine, every moment was filled with adrenaline rushes. He often did hardcore and high-risk moves as part of his moveset, but at his core, he was a great technician. His moves flowed, his repertoire of submission holds were unmatched, and he executed every throw and suplex beautifully. His snap suplexes were intense, his German suplexes were high impact, and he was great at executing submissions such as the crossface and the sharpshooter. His matches against the likes of Stone Cold, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle were just so crisp and fluid. He's also been voted Best Technical Wrestler on 5 separate occasions, which shows how well respected his technical abilities were amongst both critics.
Like, him is crazy. Like, he used to, him and Kurt Angle matches 5 stars. Like, Kurt Angle too. I don't know if Kurt Angle will be in here, but Kurt Angle definitely was crazy.
And peers. Number 2, Kurt Angle.
There we go.
Kurt Angle is one of the most gifted wrestlers in the ring. He's probably best known for his ruthless aggression style, which incorporates high-impact moves and brawling elements. But first and foremost, he's one of the best technical wrestlers in WWE history. Unlike,
you know what's crazy? I think if Brock Lesnar went so goddamn big, he went to wrestling, so he was a champion. He definitely could have did some shit. I've never seen Brock Lesnar break out the technical wrestling shit. I'm quite sure he could have.
Many others on this list, Angle was not world traveled in his pro wrestling style. He was mainly amateur trained in the Greco-Roman style, as this is the style you'd see most in standard real wrestling matches. But he showed he could hang with literally any wrestler, and he even had great matches with wrestlers who fans wouldn't consider as great, such as John Cena, JBL, and Shane McMahon. Every big match Angle did in WWE is still remembered today, with his best either being against Shawn Michaels at Mania 21 or Chris Benoit at Royal Rumble 2003. A huge part of his success as a technical wrestler comes from his time before joining the WWE. He legitimately knows how to wrestle better than almost anyone else on the roster, because he was the only Olympic gold medalist in WWE history. There is a reason most in the locker room went to him when they wanted to put on a 5-star match.
That is crazy.
Oh, it's true.
It's damn true.
Number 1, Bret Hart. When you look at Angle, he would incorporate aggressive, high-impact.
Bret Hart I was probably born when Bret Hart left WWE. Well, not left, but 94. So I always heard about Bret Hart technical wrestling. I probably seen it a couple times, but I never really knew he was a technical wrestler. Even number 1.
Style. Benoit would incorporate brawling into his style, and Guerrero would incorporate high-flying moves into his style, but Bret Hart was largely technical through and through. If you're talking actual wrestling skills, telling a story in the ring, and being able to hold the crowd's emotions in the palm of his hand, then Bret is arguably the best at it. Despite the fact that technical wrestling can be considered slow and boring, Bret showcased time and time again that grappling could be quick and exciting, especially when paired with someone with comparable skills. Everything he did looked smooth yet punishing to his opponent.
Never seen nobody do that.
Bret Hart's legacy among fellow performers and fans cements him as one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. He was so good that just his in-ring skills alone got him over the fans. Bret Hart could literally give a 5-star match anytime. Even though many people's opinions of him have soured because of his bitter attitude towards others, there's no denying his ability in his prime. The Hitman, in my opinion, truly was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be when it comes to pure technical wrestling.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know Bret Hart was like that. I definitely didn't know that. I thought probably Kurt Angle or somebody would be number 1, but I didn't know Bret Hart was like that. I said Chris Benoit. I feel like Brock Lesnar, he wasn't so goddamn big. I feel Brock Lesnar could have been a technical wrestler. So, that is crazy. Eddie Guerrero definitely. I want Shawn Michaels. He just counted a lot. I don't think Shawn Michaels. I wouldn't look at him in technical wrestling, but I knew Daniel Bryan was gonna be in there. William Regal too. So Regal was a brawler, technical wrestler. But it's rare that you see that now. So you know what I'm saying? Shit evolves. It evolves. But anyway, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace.